That was the Crack King podcast, and that was my boy Snatch. And we're gonna Snatch. I'm sorry, I said Snatch. That's what you're looking for. It's all right. I'll edit that out.
Exactly. I'm the My just say my beard ain't grown that long, has it? Jesus.
No, you gotta eat a little bit more Snatch, and then it'll get thick.
Exactly.
This is the Crack King for the Crack King podcast, and I have a bestie to the show, the Snatch. Let them know where they can find you and your content at.
So you can find the Geese Nation YouTube channel. Just type in Geese Nation, all one word, into YouTube. You'll find us there, and that's why they were quality podcast. There's links to it on the channel, but also just type that in Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of those, and you'll find that there. And as I say, you'll find me on any dating profile as well. Just type in Luis Sanchez, and I'm there. Tinder, Plenty of Fish, all of those. COVID, you feeling
I'm all right now, man. I feel a lot better, but it was more so a shock to like my professional career, because all of the stuff that's going on, with the COVID. It's like people are, you get COVID and you don't come back in time, they let you go, and they don't give a shit. Yeah, they don't give a shit anymore. In America, it's crazy. But just now, Joe Rogan. Because I'm gonna just speak for me. I didn't, I wasn't listening to Joe Rogan until like kind of the COVID hit. You know, I never listened to his comedy. The only reason why I even know who Joe Rogan is from UFC and him clowning Carlos Mancina and kind of ended his career. You know what I mean?
Well, I've got to say, don't check out Joe Rogan's stand-up. It is utter shit. It's that would have, if he kept doing that his career would have been over a long time ago. It's awful.
Well, good thing he went to podcasting. Initially, it was about him spreading COVID misinformation, and then it just kind of spiraled into this whole race thing. India Arie, a great artist. You familiar with her?
I know a couple of her songs. Yeah, she's pretty good. She's got like an Erykah Badu type of chill kind of vibe about her.
Yeah, brown skin. She put out a post about Joe Rogan. She posted this whole N-word smorgasbord clips. And come to find out, he said a lot more racially challenging shit. But the kicker is, after she posted that shit, she said he's not a racist. Spotify is sticking with him. It's like almost like he's being canceled.
Cancel proof.
Cancel proof. This is the first time I've ever seen anybody that's cancel proof that actually said the N-word and said a lot of. He was putting a hard ER on it.
So do you think he's still? I suppose, by the fact that he's still doing his podcast all the time, like 100 million contract, and he is, I suppose, Do
you rap the GA? Like if you hear, like let's say you listen to a song and you're repeating it,
right? Well,
do you say the GA?
A good hack I've come up with is saying the word geezer, because it basically it fits in like with any song. Sucker geezer, like perfect.
Yeah, that is perfect.
Yeah, exactly. In terms of Joe Rogan, like that montage, I do agree. Like I wasn't really offended by that montage. It was more like some of the other clips, because that montage, I think it did take, the clips were out of context. It's hard to like take anything from like a quick like 5 second like sound bite. Like just saying any word isn't offensive in and of itself. It's how the word is used.
The ER is still like offensive. If I was to say the ER to another black person, he would be fucking offended. Really pissed.
And then they played there was this clip about him talking about Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
So that stuff, now that was offensive, and that was like, if people were cancelling like for that stuff, is why I can understand people wanting to cancel him.
Do you think he's hiding behind this comedian title to say these derogatory things?
If you're a stand-up comedian, I don't understand why stand-up comedians these days and they seem to have, especially I think in the UK more, they have feel the need to be good people. Where like, and not just in real life, but on stage, as part of their on-stage persona, feels to be like a nice person. If they'll say like a joke that might be slightly edgy, they've got to add a bit onto it, like sort of like bring it back and explain. Oh, I'm making fun of this. They don't have the confidence to like the stand-up comedians are meant to be role models. They're the outsiders, and Joe Rogan's podcast is strange because he is a comedian and he doesn't put himself across as not being a comedian, but at the same time, it's a source. His podcast is like a source of information. But I think, regardless of being a comedian, in terms of the misinformation on the professional side, as I try to be professional and just squash my burp there.
This is the CackedKing podcast. We're free to burp anytime we want, as long as you don't burp the N-word.
Exactly. Yeah, I think like evening out hip hop or in any kind of,
they don't say the ER word.
They don't say the word at all. Honestly, I not even in our dramas, in anything, our films. Like, so there is a difference in pronunciation before,
yes.
But I didn't know it was as like I've probably perhaps only heard it from like I don't know. I think maybe listening to like a few stand-ups like Patrice O'Neill and Chris Rock. Like I've got a passing knowledge of it, so that's why education is good. So that's why it's because then your eyes get open to stuff like, oh, okay, I didn't know that was the case.
I feel like Joe Rogan as a podcaster and a journalist, a so-called journalist, because he puts on, he speaks about, things he's passionate about. He brings people on to educate. He just has a responsibility. And him as content influencer and media influencer, cultural influencer, we do have an obligation to fact check things. And if we do have an opinion on something, we have to base it on facts. You know what I mean? Because there's people out there that go to us or him that don't watch ABC News, that don't read the newspapers. They get their information that they care about from us. And if we're out here spitting out bullshit and non-facts, and then we're bringing people on that's spitting out bullshit and non-facts, that's our fault. You know what I mean? And like I say, we do have an obligation to ourselves as content creators and to our audience to bring out the truth, justice, and I want to say American way, but you're not in America, sir. Truth and justice, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and equality, and to raise up the mentality and open up minds. You know what I mean? Because if you reach somebody with your content and they open their mind up to you to hear your views, your views should be based on facts.